Hello and welcome back to Shelf Center. This is Bryce. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing. If this is something I've been enjoying, you never know what could happen. Well, this is my top shelf news for the week, and we talk about science fiction, fantasy, sometimes horror, as it relates mostly to books, but also media. We got a healthy amount of both this time. So anyway, let's jump into it. Before I get into the books, I did, yes, get a haircut. You will see, though, some follow-up videos in the next couple of weeks that have me suddenly with long hair again. That is because I have pre-filmed some videos so that because I will be out of town, because next week I am going to FanX in Salt Lake City. So anyway, if anyone's going to be there, meet me there. I'll be dressed as Legolas, kind of. At least at one point. So anyway, the books. Let's jump in. The biggest news I can tell you right now is Malazan news. So I'm so excited. As you know, I'm a huge fan. It is my top favorite series of all time, and I think it goes just for all books ever. I was going to say for fantasy, but it really is for everything. Anyway. Not only do we have the news that we're going to get not only a sequel, but the third book in the Witness trilogy, which now is going to be 4 books because the second book turned into 2 books. Anyway, coming out next year. But also next year, we get some more of the novella goodness that is Baucolain and Corbel Brooch. I don't know if I'm pronouncing those right. I need to bring back my mispronouncing fantasy names segment that I do for short sometimes, because that'd be a good one. I keep finding these. But anyway, Time's Cursed Cartwheel, and it's as told by Avis Didion Flicker. I'm sadly behind on my Baucolain and Corbel Brooch. I have read the first one, and it's funny. They're like the funny parts of Malazan. It is really good. I mean, there's plenty of good funny parts in the Malazan series. But this is, as the author has stated, as Erickson has stated, his satire, and it's funny, it's pretty good. It is a necromancer, though, and like a serial killer, like it's crazy, but it's also hilarious. So there you go, only Erickson. But this is great news. I believe, what is it, 6? It's either 7 or 8. Editing Bryce knows, I'm sure. But anyway, this is just great that these continue to come out. I bet he has lots of fun with it. Apparently, this may upset some people. That's what he said. So good luck with that. But we'll see. I need to catch up. That may be my goal for this next year. Catch up on the Baucolain and Corbel Brooch. I'm just going to keep saying it completely wrong. Having recently finished Dungeon Crawler Carl, and it was the fastest I've ever finished a book, and it was in one day. I had started reading with my eyeballs, this book, and then I started a trip. Start over on audiobook, narrated by Jeff Hayes, and just started over, and I read it all in one day, and it was so good. It was literally like so good that the reason I was able to read in one day, usually I wouldn't. It was like an 8-hour, 9-hour trip total, and I think it was like 10 or something, or 11 on the speed that I'm at, that I use, which is not just one-time speed. Usually I'm about 1.5, and so, but I was like listening to it in between breaks when I had lunch and all these things, so I just could not stop, and it was amazing. So anyway, so I looked up some news, so it might be news to you already, because I think this came out in like July, but anyway, it's news to me. There are 2 sequels that are getting the ACE treatment so far. I'm sure the rest will, because there are more sequels in the series. They got this same, again, they're looking similar to this. Like I said in my book haul video, this is a better cover in person, though the self-published covers just have more heart. They're funnier, and especially having read it makes so much more sense now, like this pineapple. But I will say the 2 sequel Dungeon Crawler Carl Ace books look really good. Do a much better job than this one, okay? First, Carl's Doomsday Scenario, which apparently is coming out September 24th. So you can check that out as soon as that comes out if you don't already have it in the self-published version. But the Ace version, September 24th. And I like this cover is definitely better than the very minimal first book. I like that. Again, it's still not as good as I think the self-published book covers, which honestly, most of the time I'm not saying. but this time I am saying. And then the Dungeon Alchemist Cookbook is, and actually it's coming out October 22nd, so they're really pumping these out, which is pretty cool because that's kind of how you read them, as I learned. It's like once you read the first one, I am out of Audible credits. Otherwise, I would already be reading the next book because it's just, that's the kind of series it is. Like, it is so addicting. I am a huge fan. I thought it was interesting. I was just, again, in researching this, apparently his patrons pick things that happen in the books. Like even some major like plot things they come up with. He said it's like part of his process. I won't ask for anyone to like give something that Carl says or Donut says or some major things, but some kind of major it sounds like, and especially to like for like loot boxes and stuff like that. So anyway, it's just, I thought that's kind of fun. That's kind of like, and it's the series that you can kind of do at least to some level, smaller level. I'm kind of like, I want to know about the bigger things, but anyway, it's kind of fun. All right, then this is, because this is Adrian Tchaikovsky's apparently he's the science fiction Brandon Sanderson, unless he's doing fantasy, because he also does that. But The Hungry Gods, he's got another release. I swear it's like 2 to 3 books a year. I'm so far behind, and it's not even funny, but I really want to read some Tchaikovsky. But anyway, The Hungry Gods is coming out. So check that out. Then a couple books that I'm interested in. Broken Stars Collected Stories by Jeremy Saul. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Sorry, Jeremy. November 1st. So check that out. We've got a couple booktubers have books that you can pre-order. One of them is The Nomad's Crucible by Charles McGarry, or Bookish Chaz as we know him. That's coming out October 15th. And then we've got Dreamer Awake by Liam Hull, and that's of Liam's Lyceum. Why didn't I write down it? Editing Bryce knows when that's coming out. I should have written that down. So good news on those fronts. I think I'm always up for supporting fellow booktubers. Very happy to do it. Looking for some in the mail from some other booktubers, so I'm excited. So lots of good stuff in the booktube world. Probably will never see my book, I'll be honest, the way that I'm going, which again, I have no aspirations at this point. I am very bad at the writing thing. All right, then in media news, let's jump into that. Oh gosh, Neil Gaiman, we've covered this actually a couple times. There were allegations, of sexual assault. There's more allegations came out. He's denied them. So at this point, though, it's definitely affecting the shows and movies and whatnot that are coming out based on his books. So he has actually offered to step back from Good Omens season 3. I seem to recall, and I was trying to look up, it's just this news is so hot right now. It's hard to find, but I could have sworn Gaiman said that he was going to essentially write like a sequel to Good Omens, and that would be season 3 or even season 4. But I swear it was season 3, and maybe he's already done that. But anyway, he's now taken a step back. He's executive producing it, he has been. But due to the allegations, and I get that, it's not. You just, I think that's a respectful thing to do to, make sure these things get made. There's people's livelihoods riding on these things. There's lots of things, and I know fans especially are big fans of the show. And at the same time, do they really want something that Gaiman doesn't play a big part in? I don't know. Also, apparently, there's the Graveyard book is on hold from Disney. So, again, I get it. You got to kind of make sure you're not supporting a bad guy. I mean, frankly, and it's good for him to take that step back. All right, Lord of the Rings. I've been announcing this and talking about it. The Hunt for Gollum, the newest Lord of the Rings movie. Well, I guess it'll be after War of the Rohirrim, which is the kind of anime style movie that's coming out. But The Hunt for Gollum, the next live action. Apparently Ian McKellen is saying that it'll be 2 movies because, of course, we can't just not beat the dead horse. So anyway, I'm debating boycotting it. I know nobody else will, and it will be for naught. But I am so tired of this, and it's just that was like one of the biggest flaws of The Hobbit. Like, can we just make a streamlined, just a good movie instead of 3 like meh movies, right? Why not? Why? I just remember I even liked the first Hobbit movie, and then the second one I was like, all right, I'm feeling this. The third one, I was like, I still haven't gone back and ever rewatched them because it was just like it was exhausting after that many, and that was after years of them coming out. So it's just like, can we just not beat these dead horses? If you're gonna do the hunt for Gollum, like, this isn't even based on anything other than some small references here and there in the book. So just, as far as I can tell, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. It's so exhausting though, come on. All right, then Dune 3. It looks like this will be Denis Villeneuve's last Dune movie, which, you know, it's kind of sad. It'd be nice for him to go through the whole thing. There's 6 books in the original series, which I understand is not even completed. But but it also says it's not your traditional, it's not like a trilogy, it's a third movie, and it's going to be different, which, if you've read the books, I don't want to get into. I've read at least the first 2 books, so I kind of understand that. I need to read the third one and maybe get that better. But he is still open, like, he's not going like, all right, and then it dies with me. Other directors can kind of take it up from there. I mean, those first 2 Dune movies are excellent. They're just awesome. They're so good. I still think I prefer the first one. I think that's not the norm. But they're both very good, so I'm not saying they're not. But excellently done. Denis just does an amazing job anyway, and so I guess he'll be probably doing something else, which will also be excellent, I'm sure. All right, then apparently Constantine 2 with Keanu Reeves has finished filming. The first one's nuts, and it's like this is one of those where I feel like it's not the sequel that's like we're finally doing after this many years, which they are. It is a sequel that they're finally doing after this many years, but like to like cash in, it feels like it's more of like I feel like Keanu Reeves liked this character, wants to keep going. The people, it's more of like a passion project, because I don't even think the first movie, and I'm gonna I should stop talking before I look things up, did like all that well. I mean, anyway, so this feels like the right way to do it. Let's see, and we'll hope. But again, especially now that Keanu Reeves, I feel like, is just, he always was like really famous, but he could still have his like dud movies here and there. But this is, you know, he's just really blown up even more than ever. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, that's been the news to me. Definitely check out the Kindle Deals down below in the description. They do help support the channel, so thank you very much. But also they're deals, so they're super cheap ebooks that I've curated here. So anyway, thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.